Season 8 OG Pass. It features 3 remixed skins, including Synthesis, a female hybrid, which, to be completely honest, I think looks better than the original, Pyre Heart, which is a remix of Blackheart, as well as Lux Patroller. All of these skins are great, but the main one here of focus is Pyre Heart. He is the quest navigator for this season, and strangely enough, is one of the few OG skins to lead the charge on the quests to not have an unknown reference attached to his description or one of his items, as far as I can tell. Pyre Heart has 2 different skin styles, both of which are really interesting. The first one features a flame style, and honestly, it's giving a lot of similar vibes to the Prisoner, but more on that later. The second style is called Frostburn Pyre Heart, and there are a lot of similarities to, you guessed it, the 0 point, whereas the whole goal of this season is X marks the spot, which is referring to the government's excavation of the vault in the middle of the map, where of course we know the 0 point lies. Or at least it did lie back in the day originally. The quest navigators of Fortnite OG up to this point has given us some really important storyline characters. And I have a feeling it's gonna be no different with Pyre Heart. Looking even closer at his 0 point style, the pinkish accents you can see around his legs remind me a lot of the various glows around the different items during the unvaulting event, which is coming up later this season. Given everything that we know, it seems like the Prisoner might not be the person involved with the volcano in Season 8 OG, but instead, I think it's Pyre Heart. The Prisoner's summoning circle never actually appeared in-game, which is yet another prime example of how things are happening in OG basically the same way, but for reasons different than originally expected. I theorize that there's a chance that the Prisoner, currently in Chapter 7 Season 2, frozen in the Ice King's ice, could be from the OG reality, and the Ice King went and captured him before Season 8 could start. But in this timeline, Blackheart is Pyre Heart and is able to take over. Something really interesting to note that could very well be related to this situation is the fact that today, with the updates in Chapter 7 Season 2, Captain America broke free from his icy prison. I said at the beginning of the season that I thought eventually everybody that was trapped in ice pillars would be freed, and that's one more person that has been freed, and I believe that even more now. Could the Prisoner be next to be freed? What ramifications could that have for the situation ongoing in OG Season 8? One of the biggest characters in the original Season 8, and one of the most undervalued and underappreciated characters ever, is Ruin, who was the Fire King, aka the Prisoner's right-hand man. If you look at Ruin and Pyre Heart side by side, there's also some similarities there. I guess it's possible that in this reality, Pyre Heart could have taken on the role of Ruin, and if the Prisoner was indeed captured by the Ice King, that could be why he's affiliated with this volcano, because he is serving out his duty as the right-hand man. I know it's April Fool's Day, but this is not a joke. The Dark Voyager will be in the unvaulting event later this season. Apparently, there's an encrypted open stage relating to the Rift in BR that will actually be related to OG and the Season 8 event, and it seems like the 0 point will be directly involved. I think it's still up for debate as to what's actually in the vault, but nonetheless, this seems to be a major development. It's extremely likely that the Voyager and the Dark Harvester have been to the OG reality before. It seems as though that's how he was able to acquire Voidwalker Lynx to be on his team, but this would be the first time that we have actually seen it. One of the major theories is that the Voyager is going to show up to get access to the vault during the unvaulting event so that he can claim what might be the final 0 shard from the vault. We know there are a total of 7 0-point shards that he's seeking, and the number 7 has been a constant reoccurring number so far throughout Chapter 7, which makes sense, so maybe everything is coming full circle. The problem with that theory, though, is if the Voyager claims the final shard from the vault, and then there's nothing in the vault at all, how would that impact the Mecha Team leader during its final showdown with the Devourer? And more importantly, what exactly would be destabilized leading into Season X? What source of energy would be be powering Neo Tilted. The OG Looper on Twitter says, "Oh my god, he's going to put the 0 point back and set up his perfect reality on the vault in OG." This is a theory that's really growing on me. What if instead of getting the final shard from the vault, instead he brings all the other shards over to the vault, and there he assembles what he has with the final shard, and that's how he recreates the 0 point. Alternatively, we know the Voyager has been trying to recreate the vault on the Chapter 7 island. Maybe he's able to activate it, and that serves as some sort of a link to the OG Chapter 1 vault. This same tweet from earlier also mentions how Midas had a portal to the vault back in Chapter 6, which is true. There was a mysterious portal looking straight at what looked a lot like the original Chapter 1 vault. And for what it's worth, it did appear to have an intact 0 point, even though we knew that the shards were scattered around at that time. We also know that Midas was trying to lay low, and on top of that, we have recently gotten Jules back into the storyline, so who knows where all of this is gonna go, and how exactly the Dark Voyager is going to be linked to this live event. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll even feature some of my favorite theories in my next video. Sans has a pretty good theory saying it was revealed by an Epic Games dev that Pyreheart's style Frostburn was designed off the 0 point and the vault. Therefore, what if the unvaulting event follows the volcano firing at the Dark Harvester and forcing him to retreat, upsetting both him and his boss? Also, therefore, allowing the Devourer to sense the 0 point energy, and us needing to build a mecha, leading to Season X destabilization. So essentially, this is saying that during the Dark Harvester's attempt to get into the vault, the volcano starts shooting and hits the Harvester, doing enough damage to make it have to leave before it accomplishes the goal. If it sets up this way, it would set up everything after to happen pretty much exactly as it did before, with Neo Tilted being able to be powered, and of course, Season X's destabilization still able to happen. But in doing so, it would still give us a very exciting alteration to our original event. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to leave your theories below, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next